Physically, with it being a short week, how do you feel physically going into this game?
Yeah, it's always a quick turnaround for those Thursday night games, but we emphasized recovery this past week, and especially after the game, everyone was ice tubs, relaxed, and making sure their bodies are right for this week because it is a grind. But the guys did a great job with recovery this week.
Another primetime game for you. You performed very well in those games so far in your career. Why do you feel like you play so well in primetime?
Well, thank you, I appreciate that.
Stats and stats.
I think a lot of it is an emphasis on the importance of the game and having a good plan of protection, routes, and beating coverages, specific coverages. And I feel like the coaches have done a great job of putting us in a position to have success. And when they do that, we just go out and execute. I think we can play some pretty good football.
Justin, you probably won't have Rashaan out there. How's that going to be for an adjustment with Trey out there?
We really believe in Trey, and he's done a great job stepping up this week. And obviously, it's really tough to lose a guy like Rashaan. He's an incredible player, but you can't worry about that because the Chiefs don't care whether he's out there or not. And Trey's done an incredible job so far of picking it up, and he's a veteran guy that really gets it. And so when he goes out there, we feel comfortable with him.
And sure, you guys get Keenan Allen back this week after missing him against the Giants. What is that going to mean for your guys' offense?
Yeah, Keenan's a special player, and definitely tough to lose him for a game. But he just adds such a whole other dimension to our offense, and having him out there, especially on third down, he's a secure guy to go to, and to have him around the facility again, it's great to see him again. And he definitely brings the juice every week of practice.
How much do you think it helped Josh and Jalen last? Obviously you want Keenan in and everything, but how much do you think it helped their confidence being able to pick up the slack for Keenan and having such big games like they did on Sunday?
Yeah, that's a good point. They had to step up, and with Keenan down, it was Mike, JG, and Josh Palmer, and those guys had to step up, and they did an incredible job of practicing and picking up the offense. And we asked a lot of Josh to be able to play all three positions, but he didn't bat an eye, and he did it, and he dealt with some adversity. And JG stepped up big time the past couple of games, so it's really good to see from those guys. And when you add Keenan back in, you got a whole lot of weapons to deal with.
What differences do you see? Go ahead.
Do you guys look at this as another game, or do you openly talk about that if you beat the Chiefs, you'll be in first place in the division?
Every opportunity is a great opportunity for us to go play football, and we're always trying to be at our best regardless of the game. And the Chiefs definitely present a lot of challenges for us because they've got an incredible defense, a great offense, and they're really well coached. And it's going to require us to watch a lot of film, prepare the right way during practice, during film, during weights, recovery. It doesn't matter. We have to be perfect, and we have to be on our game so that we have any chance come Thursday.
Patrick Mahomes tends to play his best football this time of the year. Do you look at this that you have to go blow for blow with him, or do you let the defense worry about that?
Fortunately, I just have to play against the defense, and I don't have to worry about offense and defense and special teams. And so it's all about preparing for their defense, and they do a lot of incredible things on defense, and they're really well coached. And, they do a lot of great disguise, and they do a fantastic job of pressuring the quarterback, disrupting the passer. And so it's up to us to have a good protection plan, be solid on our routes so that we have any chance on Thursday.
What did you say from Melvin Ingram on tape?
Yeah, he's really flashed, and it doesn't take long to turn on the film and see how special he is. And, when he was here last year, he was making a lot of plays all over the place. And, we got pretty close, and I really enjoyed playing with him. And, I think it's going to be cool to see him back out there again. And, he's a very talented player.
The Chiefs' defense has really turned it on over these last 5 weeks or so. They've been one of the better defenses, best defenses in football. You played against them 3 times now. Are they doing anything differently here over this recent stretch where they haven't been giving up as many points? What are you sort of seeing on tape as far as what you think has sort of spurred that surge from them defensively?
Well, I think they've always been pretty good, and I think early on their record wasn't matching how well they were playing. And, they've really turned it on, and they've played really consistent football. And I think that's the toughest part about their defense is, they're going to get after you, and they're going to play coverage, and they're going to do all these things very well. And they're really well coached, and when you match it up with the guys that they have on defense, it pairs for a really, really good defense.
Justin, we know that every game, every win matters in the NFL, but to be able to sweep these guys this season, how big of a lift would that be for you guys as you head out to the final home stretch and the final playoff push?
I think every game is super important, and for us this week, the emphasis is on a short week of preparation, of recovery, and doing everything we can to be ready on Thursday. And the Chiefs, they present a lot of challenges for us, and it's going to require us to watch a lot of film, get after it in the weight room, out on the practice field, however much time we can get out there. I felt like the guys were dialed in, focused this week, so that's always a good sign.
Justin, I know football's football, but do you get a little bit more excited going up against the Tom Brady's, the Patrick Mahomes, like big fans facing those kind of guys? those quarterbacks that you kind of idolized while you were in college, do you get a little bit extra going up against some of these guys?
I think it's always a great opportunity to be able to go up against those guys and kind of learn and watch and see what they were able to do. And, they're masters at their craft and what they do. And so anything that I can pick up while watching them, I think is huge for my game as well.
You know how much you like to study and stuff. On a short week like this, how do you adjust? Is it more difficult? Do you have later nights? I mean, how do you kind of make sure you're ready to go?
You have to manage your time very well, and I think that's the tough part about these short weeks is you have to rely on the game film from the last game. You have to look back at your notes, what you wrote down, what you remembered from the previous game, and you have to watch as many games as you can in this short time frame. And at the same time, you have to move on to third downs, red zone area, short yardage, and it's a quick turnaround. But I think the coaches have done a great job of spacing that out and prepping us so that we feel comfortable heading into the game.
There are a lot of friends and family members text you about that touchdown play that Biden last week.
Yeah, just a couple here and there. I think Jalen made an incredible play on it, saw the right read, ran the great route, and I just did everything I could to get him the ball, and he did a great job adjusting to it. And it's one of those routes that we've thrown thousands of times after practice, and there was never a doubt in my mind that I knew he was going to be able to track it because he ended up looking left, right, and found it late. But that's how special he is.
Joe told us that the play wasn't really designed to go to Jalen. That was more of like a clear out route, and that you maybe the only reason you saw that route come open was because he escaped. Did you feel like, because the way you talked about it after the game, I felt like you knew that you were going to go to Jalen on that play? Did you sort of view the concept a little bit differently than Joe?
Yeah, maybe I didn't understand the play as well as he would have wanted me to, but it turned out well. And I saw it pre-snap. I saw the coverage, and Jalen saw it that way as well, and so we were on the same page, and maybe that's something we have to address going forward, but it helped us that time.
Maybe you're looking to be a little more aggressive in that situation and push it downfield?
Yeah, well, I mean, on third down and some yards, and you have a speedster like that in the slot, good things always happen when you push the ball downfield like that.
You donated over $25,000 for the food bank in Los Angeles. What does that mean to you and contributing to the community, and why did you feel the need to do that?
I think the LA community is such a special community, and me being a part of it, they've given me so much. They've supported our team for so long, and for us to be able to give back and help them out, it's the least we could do. And to use our platform as an athlete, I think that's what my parents have always taught me. So, it's a great opportunity to help others, especially during the time of giving and receiving. So it's awesome.
Did winning a third AFC Offensive Player of the Week mean anything to you?
I think it's a great honor for the team. I don't think I'm able to win that without the receivers, the offensive linemen, the guys running the ball. And so it's a huge props to our offensive line, who's done an incredible job blocking all year. All those receivers that put so much work in before practice, and especially all the tight ends as well.
How much are you guys going to rely on the quick game heading into this one, just with Rashaan out and just some of the protection issues that have happened this year, just having Keenan back in there? How much do you? And it's something you've had success with earlier in the season, like in the Eagles game, for example. Just like, how much do you feel like you're going to rely on it heading into this one?
Yeah, I think quick game has always been a big part of our offense, and I think like you said, they definitely do a great job disrupting the passer, and I think it was a big part of our game back in week 3, and just always trying to get the ball out quickly, and especially getting to those guys on the outside, and Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, all those guys. If you get the ball to them, good things will happen, and so whether that's intermediate or deep passes, I think quick game has been a big part of our offense as well.
Through 13 weeks, 8 wins, what have you identified within the team prior to the games that let you know the guys are ready to play, that they're ready to get out there and do the thing with high energy, et cetera?
I think a huge thing is the week of practice and how focused and dialed in those guys are, and going throughout the week of watching film and getting out on the practice field, and how sharp we are on third down and the red zone periods during practice. And I think if you're able to be sharp during those and understand your job, do your role, I think that normally leads to a good outcome on Sundays.